Now, today in this tutorial, I'm going to create a Selenium TestNG testing framework from the scratch. Okay. Now, this is a website, aspiringtester.com. This is under development. Uh, a lot of changes are going to happen here. So in future, so I will need to do some testing continuously on that, because after every changes, and to do an end-to-end changes testing, to do an end-to-end testing in this website, I want to create a Selenium TestNG framework. Okay. Now, what features we are going to include in that framework? I just created a list of that. Like, test data will be maintained in Excel file. Okay. To read the data from Excel, we will use Apache POI API. And then, using TestNG data provider annotation, we will pass the data from the Excel file to our test script. Okay. And then global properties. We'll create a we'll create a properties file where we'll keep our global variables. And then test data in Excel file and global properties in properties file will be in a separate folder that I will show you. And then we have used extent reporting. In addition to the normal TestNG reporting, we have also included extent reporting features. Okay. And and in that report we have included the screenshot also, like if any test case failed, if any test case fails, we'll get a screenshot of that, and that will be attached to that reports. Okay. So all these mechanism will be included in our testing framework. Now then, we have also included logging mechanism using the log4j. And then we'll create a BaseTest.java file in which we will create some utilities. Okay. And those utilities we will use throughout the testing. And not only that, uh, that will be reusable. Like, not only in this project, we can use those in other projects as well. Then TestNG framework, using TestNG framework test scripts are generated. Yeah, that's fine. And we will also use page object model in this project. And then we will use a Maven build management tool. Okay. And then we'll use Jenkins to run the tests. Okay. So these are the features we have included. Now I will explain it more. Now, this framework I have already created myself. So just to save the time, because if I do everything here live, it's going to take long time to show. So to save our time, I have already created the framework. This one here, aspiring testing framework. So what I did here, I have created one Maven project. How to create Maven project, I have already shown you in my previous videos. If you haven't seen, just go back to the Selenium for part 1, part 2. There you will get idea how to create the Maven project, how to use TestNG, and how to do the coding in Selenium. You'll get the basic idea how to initialize the webDriver, how to use the webDriver manager. All those stuffs have been already described there. You can see my Selenium part 1, part 2, and even you can see the TestNG tutorials also. Okay. So here in this video, I will assume that you already got some knowledge of Java, Selenium, TestNG, all those stuff. So here I am going to describe the best practice to create the Selenium TestNG framework. Okay. So here I have created a Maven project, and there I have used the quick start template when I created the Maven project. For all testing project is really good to use the quick start template. That's quite effective. Now, first we will understand the skeleton. To keep our code clean, we should follow some consistent structure. Like what I did in this folder, src main java, I kept all my utility files here. And here in src test java, I have kept all the pages, okay, the test cases. So because here I have used page object model, so in page object model, what happens, for each page of website we will create one class where we will write all the test cases related to that page. Like here is home page, manual testing, automation, contact. For each page there will be classes. If in future there will be more pages, so there will be more classes. Now at first I'll show you the contact page. Here we are going to do some data driven testing where we will read the data from Excel sheet. Okay, so first we will do this. But before that we will understand the structure here, how we are keeping our code. So in src main java, we'll keep all the utility folder, all the utility classes, and we'll keep um, all the resources also. So that's what I did here. I have created two folders. One is resources. You can see here highlighted. Another one is utility. Okay, resources and utility. In resources, I have created two files. One is global.properties, where I'll show you this first. Yeah, in global.properties, what we have done, we have declared our global variables like the browser, which browser we are going to use, Chrome or Firefox or IE, whatever browser we want to use, we just can change the value of the browser here. Then our whole framework will uh, will run on that browser. We don't need to change the code anywhere, just we'll change the browser name here. Okay, so we made the code like this. So here we declared our global variable browser. Another thing we did here, we have declared our URL also, like which URL we are going to work in future. Maybe we will do test some other websites, so then also we will be able to use the same framework, only we can change the URL here. Okay, so that's how this framework is going to be totally reusable. We can use this again and again for any project, not only for this project. So this is our global properties in the resources. What else resources we got? We got one Excel sheet. We created one Excel sheet here where we are maintaining our test data. Okay, this is our test data, like first name, last name, country, gender. We are going to use this data to do testing here. In the contact page, see, here we will derive the data from that Excel sheet using our Apache POI API. Okay, uh, so here we will do a data driven testing. So yeah, so I'll just close it now. So we created our resources, global.properties and test data.xlsx. Okay. Now this is our resources while we're maintaining the data, and then utility. I have created a few utilities which are reusable. All these utilities are, we can use in any other project as well, not only in this project. So this is like an asset. So I have created here BaseTest.java, where I have initialized the driver, and uh, I am also deriving the page, like the URL which we are going to test. I am also deriving that URL destination from the global dot properties dynamically. So here in the framework, we don't have to change the URL anywhere. will just change in the global.properties, as I have already explained. So here we are in the base test.java. We are initializing our driver, Chrome driver for Firefox or any driver, and then we are getting the web page URL also dynamically from the global.properties file. Yeah, and then we have also included here the screenshot mechanism in this base test Java. Okay, so we will explain those things one by one, and then we have created excel reading.java. This is an utility file where we are reading the data from excel sheet. So here I have created some methods to which we are going to use in our framework. I will explain those things one by one, step by step. Then we have created extent reporting.java. Here we have configured the extent reporting using which we will get a beautiful, nice HTML reports. And then we have created listeners.java. Listeners.java, here also we have used the TestNG listeners mechanism actually. Using that, we have configured our log4j logging system, and the extent reporting as well. For that also we have used this listeners mechanism. So all those steps will take time to explain step by step. It's a really long procedure. Still, to save the time, I have already created before, so that otherwise it will take ages to develop the thing and recording and all those stuff. Now, where to start? Now, because I have already created the things, I'll just show you in the beginning how it's going to happen. So how our test case is going to run. Now we'll run from here. This is my whole project. Now I can run the whole project using the TestNG here from the testng.xml file. I'll explain this also later on, how I got this TestNG XML file. Now right click, run as TestNG. Now see, it will run very fast. Just keep an eye. So driver is initialized successfully. See, one data, John, Isabella, parameter. Yeah. So total 3 sets of data were there in Excel file. So that's why it ran 3 times, and except that we have some other test cases also we have created. They have also run. Now 6 cases out of 6 cases, 5 pass and failure 1. This failure 1, I deliberately I have created it so that it will fail, so that we can see the reports and stuff, because the screenshot will be taken only when the test case fails. So to show that, I have kept one test cases like that it will fail. Now we'll see these logs. The log is generated. Okay, the log will be generated with the date and the timestamp. See, this is the date. Today's date is 20th October. So this is today's log, 20th October, and the timestamp, what time I have run the test. As per that, the log file will be generated, and we can get the log in future. If we want, we can retrieve the log file of any date. Okay, so that's how it's generated such a way that it will show the date, timing, and all those stuff. Okay, so this is the login mechanism, and then we have a normal testng report here in test output folder. We'll see this later on, but that for extent reporting, we have got this report here in the reports folder. This is index.html. We'll take the proper, we'll right click, go to properties, and we'll see the location here, copy, and then we'll go to our browser. Just paste it, enter. See, this is our uh, reports which we have generated using the extent reporting. See, this is pass. It's showing the test case name, and then this is failed. Validate title. This is a test case. It's failed. We'll click here and see the screenshot. The screenshot of the failed test case, and then here also it will log the reason of the fail. The reason of the fail is that expected contact but found aspiring tester. Now the validate title means this title of the page, this top left corner, the title of the page is aspiring tester. So when I was doing assertion, what is assertion? I will discuss this when I will explain. There I put expected result as contact, but the actual result is aspiring tester. So that's why it didn't match. So it failed. So that's the reason. Now see, when you click here, it will give you the all reason. Okay, uh, the whole thing, all details of the failure. You will get it here. So that's how we have included the extent reporting and the attached screenshot as well here. So these are the things we have done, and now I am going to explain one by one how I did that. So first, in the folder SSC main Java, we created one resource folder which I already explained, and then utility folder. In the utility folder I have created one Java class is BaseTest.java. In BaseTest.java, what I did, first I have to read the properties file. Okay, so because of that I have created an object of properties. Properties is a class in Java. So instead of created the object here, what I did, because so that I can use this prop variable from anywhere in the framework, that's why I have declared that object, that properties object variable prop in the class level here in the top, in the top, public static properties prop. And at the same time I have declared that webDriver type variable drive as well, public static webDriver driver. I have already explained all these things in my uh, Selenium part 1 part 2 videos in detail, so please watch that video to know more about all these things, that why I have declared them on the top. Okay, it's all explained there. Now so this, I have created this object prop for this properties class. Okay, so it has been created because we need to read the global values from the properties file. For that, then we have used file input stream to read the file, the properties file. Okay, so for that we created one object of file input stream as well. File input stream fish equals new file input stream, and within this we have passed the location of our global.properties folder. So we just select, right click, properties, and see this one, not this path. We have to take this location. Okay, so that's how they will be able to find the file. So we have to put that location of global.properties inside this. We have to pass that location inside this file input stream object. Okay, so now this fish object, it has read this file, and then we will pass this fish object, then we have to load this properties file. Like here we will use this prop. When you will use, Eclipse will help you a lot. Like when you write prop dot, you see, you will get all this method here. So we will use this load method. See this load, And within load, what we have to pass is written here, input stream. So this input stream object is face. So if we just select it, see, the Eclipse is already giving you the option face. Okay, so when you use the Eclipse, just practice it in hand, then you will understand everything. It will be more clear. Okay, so in this way we did that. So we loaded the global.properties file here like this. After that, what we need to do, we will take the value of the browser. You see, we have declared browsers equal Chrome. So using this prop object, we did like this, prop dot get property bracket browser. This also, when you will write in Eclipse prop dot, you will get all this method. Okay, and then like this, we will get the value of browser, which will be Chrome here, because we have mentioned browser equals Chrome. Okay, so we'll keep that value here in a string variable called browser name. And then we are setting one if and else statement. If browser name dot equals ignore case Chrome, then we will initialize Chrome webDriver. Okay, how to do this? All these are same, just like before. It has already been explained in the previous videos. You can see there. So we are using webDriver manager here, and we are initiating Chrome driver. And then we already declared here driver variable. So driver equals new Chrome driver. Similarly, if the value is not Chrome, then I will initialize Firefox driver. So I have initialized here Firefox driver using the WebDriver manager. Now we can keep on going. Not only Firefox, I can include another if else statement, like not another if else, like another if statement here, that if browser name dot equals ignore case Firefox, then this, and if is dot equals ignore case H, then I will initialize H driver. So like this, I can include Safari driver, I can include all those driver, but here I'm just including the Chrome driver and Firefox driver only. Maybe later on I will add them. Okay, just to save the time. So then finally, after selecting the driver, Chrome, Firefox, whatever, it's returning the driver, return driver. And see, just notice here, in this method, public static webDriver get driver. So I created this method get driver to return the driver, and because it's returning actually a webDriver object. What is driver? Driver is a webDriver object. Okay, so that's why, because it's returning the webDriver, so the method type is here webDriver. Alright, so similarly, I have created another method here, public static string get webPage. Now here just notice, because I am using TestNG here, so I am always using the TestNG tag @test. Okay, so that's how the TestNG will recognize this as a test, and it will run this. Otherwise it will not run, because I am not using here Java main method and all those things, because I am going to run it with TestNG. Now, so that's how we are returning driver, and then I have created another method, get web page. You can give any name of your choice. I just gave get web page. So in get web page method, it will return the page. See, I have already mentioned another global property here, URL equals this one. So in this method, it will return the URL basically. Okay. Now I have used the same, this line, just copy it here, these three lines. I'm not explaining it again. We'll just copy it here. We have to do it here again, because whatever we did here, it has the scope only within this method. Okay, so that's why we have to do it separately in this method. Otherwise it's not going to work. So after that, what we are going to do, prop.get property. Here I got that browser value. Now here I am getting the URL value. Okay. And I am putting that value in a variable called page. And because the URL is basically a string, so I am keeping it in a string variable. Okay. Like here also I kept the browser name in the string variable. And then I am just simply returning the value of that page variable. Page. What will be the value of that page variable? That will be the value of URL here. Okay. In this case, my value of URL here is https www.aspiringtester.com contact.php. I have put the whole URL here. Okay. Maybe later on I will change it and I'll manipulate, I'll do some other things there. But for the time being, now I have put this contact page URL. So that's how we have created our BaseTest.java, and later on here we will also include this screenshot mechanism that also will include in this class. But now I will not discuss that here. When I will discuss about the extent reporting and screenshot, that time I will explain it here. For the time being, I just explain these two method, getDriver, which will initialize our driver, excuse me, and getWebPage, which will return the URL. Sorry. Then, so we have already done resources. So BaseTest.java is done. Now, in my next video, I am going to show you how to introduce the page object model. Okay, so we will create our first test case for our contact page. Alright, so yeah, please see the second part to see our first test case using this driver. Okay, thank you for watching.